crowded mayoral race, a Northside alderman is proposing a change to the city's election process. 47th Ward Alderman Matt Martin is calling on the city council to explore ranked choice voting. Here's how that would work. Instead of choosing one candidate, voters would rank the candidates in order of preference. And then if none of the candidates receives 50% of the top votes, the last place candidate would be eliminated and those preferences would be redistributed.
And Alderman Martin is joining us now to talk about that very proposal in a little more detail. Alderman, thanks for being with us here. You can see the benefits here. Briefly, give us another overview, a little detailed, exactly how this voter ranked choice system works.
Well, that was a terrific explanation to lead off the bat, but really what we're looking to do is make sure that people can choose the candidate that they think would do the best job in office, whether it's mayor, alderperson, or somebody else, without concern for where they think that person might be in the polls. And so if their second or third place person is someone who they think maybe is likeliest to win, they can have their cake and eat it too. They can select the person they're most excited about while also ensuring that their second and third place votes will also make a difference potentially.
Okay, so when the last candidate is knocked off, that redistribution in the process becomes critical, and that's something that then it's the ballot counting that becomes really important. And does that set up a scenario for challenges?
So there are a number of cities across the U.S. that have adopted this. New York City, San Francisco are two notable options, even the state of Alaska most recently with their House race. So my understanding is with these places, they've done a terrific job of adjudicating this. There have been minimal issues. The great things that they have seen: increased turnout, more representation ultimately with women and people of color. And at the end of the day, people are excited to go and vote because they don't have to worry about who their first choice is versus who the likeliest person is to win.
Alderman, let me ask you, is there any evidence that this sort of voting actually increases voter turnout?
Yes. So there are a number of studies that have shown, in particular with youth, that turnout does go up. And if you look at the crowded and complicated race that we have for mayor right now, you have a lot of people, as you just discussed, asking, well, okay, this person's up, this person's down, who should I vote for? That's not what people should be focused on first and foremost. It's who they think will do the best job. And also this could save us money by avoiding costly runoffs. And at the end of the day, last time we did a municipal election, about 34% turnout. Go back to 1983 with Mayor Harold Washington. It was over 80%. That's where we want to get to. We want to generate that excitement. I think ranked choice voting is a great way to do that.
All right, so where does your proposal stand right now? Will it ever see the light of day for a vote in City Council?
So we started off with a resolution calling for a hearing, calling for a public discussion on the topic. I expect that will happen before the term ends in the middle of May. Hopefully we get really good feedback from the public, from colleagues on City Council, the mayor's office, and we can find a proposal in terms of a proposed law that we can introduce shortly after the new council gets sworn into office in mid-May.
Ranked choice voting. Thanks for the primer. 47th Ward Alderman Matt Martin. We appreciate it.
Thank you.